Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Week 3 AP poll reaction video. Whatever you see here, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you agree with the AP poll, disagree with it. It was a wild week of college football, to be sure, so let's just get right into it. Looking at the poll, the biggest change you might see early on, to the surprise of absolutely no one, Georgia has taken over the number one spot in the AP poll with their 33-0 drubbing of Samford, combined with Alabama's 20-19 win at Texas. Georgia takes the number one spot. Alabama moves down to number 2. Ohio State staying strong at number 3. Michigan at 4. Clemson at 5. But we get through 6 to 10. As you can see, everything has completely changed following Texas A&M's loss, Notre Dame's loss, Baylor's loss. Just completely different all around. Oklahoma has moved up to number 6, USC up to number 7, Oklahoma State up to number 8. Then the big jump, Kentucky moves up 11 spots to number 9 in the country for their win over Florida. I would have rather seen Arkansas, who's at number 10, take that jump. But hey, you can make the argument Kentucky has the bigger win, so the Wildcats get the bump. And also, congratulations to Mark Stoops, becoming the all-time winningest coach at Kentucky. Moving on down, number 11 is Michigan State, followed by BYU with a big 9-spot jump up to number 12 for their giant win over Baylor, a well-deserved jump for the Cougars there. Miami at number 13. Utah falls again, despite winning 73-7. That's more trying to build up what has happened with BYU's big jump. Miami getting the hop over them. Undefeated, I guess, jumping over the one-loss Utah team. Especially with that Florida loss, that does not help the Utes at all. Tennessee also a 9-spot jump. They're up to number 15 for their big win at Pitt. NC State up to 16. Baylor takes a huge fall to 17. I don't really agree with the huge fall. I would have rather seen Baylor maybe somewhere up around 13 or 14. That's a good BYU team you lost to. I don't really see the 8-spot drop there. Florida falling 6 spots to 18. Wake now at number 19. Ole Miss at 20. Texas moves in at 21. I know some people will disagree with this, saying, Texas lost. Why are they ranked? There's no reason for that. When you see what Texas did against Alabama, despite having their starting quarterback out, despite having their backup with Hudson Cards out there on one leg essentially, and they still take it to a 1-point game. They have a 19-17 lead until the final 10 seconds of the game. They went toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country. Even though I'm an Oklahoma fan, I hate to say it, but Texas absolutely deserves to be ranked for that performance. 21 is a good spot for them. They absolutely deserve to be in the top 25 the way they played against Alabama. I mean, they're seconds away from winning that game and maybe actually being back. Who knows? If Quinn Ewers was still healthy, maybe they win that game. That's going to be the big talking point. You're going to see a lot thrown out this week. And then Penn State at number 22, that's another big jump there. Penn State coming in. They have a big test at Auburn this week. Auburn didn't look too hot against San Jose State, but we'll see what Penn State does there. Pitt falling all the way to 23 for their loss to Tennessee. Once again, a 6-spot drop. I don't really know about that. I mean, you lose in overtime to Tennessee. Keaton Slovis dealt with an injury. I don't really like a 6-spot drop there, but with everything that happened in front of them, I guess you have to do that there. And Texas A&M, one of the biggest losers, an 18-spot drop for losing to App State. And my goodness, I mean, I said this would happen, folks. I told people, do not put your faith in this Texas A&M team. I don't know why people did. People kept trying to say they're a top 10 team. Look at all the talent they have across the board. That doesn't mean anything when you can't move the ball. It really doesn't. When you can't move the ball and your defense can't stop the other team from just keeping on grinding that clock, I don't know what you expect A&M to be. I said they would go 7-5 this year. I stand by that. Texas A&M plays Miami this week. I honestly think Miami will beat Texas A&M. I honestly do. I think it is going to turn to a rough season immediately for the Aggies. And then Oregon, coming back in at number 25, that sets up another top 25 matchup for BYU. Oregon hosting the Cougars this week. That should be a fun one there in Eugene. And looking at the teams receiving votes, obviously the first one here is Marshall. Marshall pulling off another great upset. Just what a great week for the Sun Belt. Marshall getting the upset 26-21 over Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they're 0-2 in barbecue. Their playoff hopes done. Top 25, not even possible. Marcus Freeman still has not even won a game as the head coach of Notre Dame. The first coach in Notre Dame history to start his career 0-3. So my goodness, Notre Dame has a lot they need to fix. We're not going to see them in the top 25 for a while. They get Cal this week, and who knows, if Cal plays a good game, maybe Notre Dame starts 0-3. That's a legitimate possibility we have to talk about, folks. But Marshall, I mean, they deserve it. If they could come out and win a few more games, they got a good shot to get this ranking here. Cincinnati and App State also receiving votes. I guess you would say they would be tied for 27th is the best way to put it. App State, obviously, getting the big win. They beat Texas A&M. They get to host College Game Day this week against Troy. It is going to be a huge week for App State. If they can get that win with all the publicity they're going to get this week, we could see App State enter the top 25 rather quickly. And then Kansas State, boy, did they look good against Missouri, 40-12 there. And North Carolina, who is 3-0, and they're just such a fun team to watch because you've seen what's happened. They beat App State. They beat Georgia State. They were not blowouts by any stretch of the imagination, though. North Carolina getting into these weird shootout affairs with teams you would think they could roll over on paper. But every time they get on that field, they provide some high-quality entertainment. And then Mississippi State, they had a nice win, and I'll cap it there because I could run through all of these teams, but my goodness, we don't need to talk about all of them. Another one to mention, Wisconsin, they get upset by Washington State. They've dropped out of the poll as well, but going back, looking at it, I still think the biggest surprises to me are that Baylor drop. Like I said, I don't think that's really deserving for a 6-point loss in double overtime on the road. And Kentucky moving up 11, like I said, maybe you move Arkansas up more. Maybe you move Michigan State or BYU up for a little bit better win. I don't know there. But what I can tell you is I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, as always, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at NWTV7, and be sure to watch our live streams when we go live at twitch.tv/NWTV7. If you can't make the live stream, you can just subscribe right here, like I said, to the Guys Who Stare at Stats YouTube channel. Until then, I forgot how to talk there for a second. Oh, my goodness. Until next time, have a good one, everybody.